Greetings once again, spacefaring adventurers. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of Eden Zero, where previously, Shiki has gone to get the help of the chronophage in order to reverse Mother's time, taking her back to when she was planet Earth. But as he enters the chronophage, he encounters a weird thing in the belly of the beast, a masked priestess, or so she calls herself, one who seeks to regain her lost time, possibly some relation to Rebecca, or maybe a variant of Rebecca. But there's something off about her, as her feet seem to distort in ways that aren't very human, and she attacks Shiki. But Shiki is determined to get the chronophage's help in restoring Mother. Meanwhile, the crew of Eden's ready to fire upon the Eden's One, but the Eden's One prepares its main cannon as well, ready to fire back. All the while, Ziggy's fight with Void reaches a bit of a stalemate. That is, until Ziggy decides the best way to deal with Void's ability to alter time, remove its ability, and thus Ziggy severs Void's legs. Will this actually be enough to stop Void? Or does Void have something else up their sleeve? Plans are in motion. Let's see how explosive they can get, shall we? Cover is a very simple image of Ziggy and Michael. Okay, it's Eden Zero Chapter 285. 0 versus 1. Okay, so I guess we're focusing on that battle maybe? Would make sense. That's the lower end of the more critical stuff going on here. But we pick up with Void kind of in disbelief after having his legs severed. You think it would have shredded his cape a little bit too? Ziggy tells Void, "This is the end, Eden's One." But suddenly, Void's eyes, they turn black. Oh, energy starts to emanate from Void, much to Ziggy's surprise. The heck? And it's as though something activates within the Eden's One, which is still in pitch combat, shooting volleys back and forth against the Eden Zero, which at the main console saying Starbringer charged to 90%. Wise turns, shouting, "They're getting ready to hit us with something. We need to fire now." But Hermit tells him, "No, we need 100% or we'll never beat it." But Laguna notices something, questioning, what are these reading? Is a horde of something behind the one? What looks like multiple ships come flying up behind the Eden's One, much to the shock of the crew of Edens. They get closer and closer until the one is surrounded by an entire battalion of ships. Hermit questions, what? Reinforcements? Wise shouts, "Where in blue blazes did they all come from?" A witch says no. We then cut over the Void, who tells Ziggy, "No, it is not the end for me. My AI has been busy building Starship this entire time? Enough to eliminate the entire human race." Void says as he rockets forward and manages to have his fist pierce through Ziggy's chest. Damn, he's just tenacious. I figured he would somehow reverse what Ziggy had done, but he's just not giving up. It's just like, oh, you want my legs, you can have them. That's pretty hardcore. The ships surrounding the Eden's One start firing upon the Zero. Wise shouting, the officer says, "They're firing at us! Evade!" And the Zero does just that, trying its best to evade the hail of blast showering down upon it as it ducks out of the way, which states, "Now, even if we do fire the main cannon, but suddenly something destroys one of the ships." Oh, is this what I've been waiting for? As a voice comes over the comm saying, "Don't worry, we'll take care of the entourage." Yep, there it is. I kept saying, I'm like, at what point does the Interstellar Union Army come in? They said that they were gonna help out. There's no way the final battle doesn't have their involvement. And here it is, which calls out Holy, and Holy says, "You just aim for the main attraction," which questions the Eretion says fleet, and Hadai says, Racer says, I should say, "I will erase everything that stands in our way." And the Union ships all fire upon the forces of Eden's One. Victory shouts, "Victory will be ours," while Jaguar commands, "All ships fire." A video feed of Amira comes up on the Eden Zero, with her giving a thumbs up saying, "Let us handle the little guy." Wise questions Amira, "How did you know where to find us?" Holy states, "Don't underestimate the intelligence of the Interstellar Union Army," is what I would like to say, but Feather chimes in saying there are beekeepers spreading the intel far and wide. Oh, okay. They weren't able to help out with the chronophage, but they were able to get the word out to the army that, the crew of Edens need backup. That's cool. It's not the big bombastic fight that I could have hoped for, because honestly, it was when we were fighting the dragons when we needed help, but I guess having the Interstellar Union army fighting dragons again would be a little bit redundant. But I will admit, having this fleet of ships just coming out of nowhere feels very like, we kind of needed the Union army to do something too, But Hermit questions, you mean Lobelia? Lobelia chimes in over the comm saying, I'm sorry, this is all we can do to help. I just hope the news gets to all the right people and you see the Kurenai Dragoon out there blasting down ships. Heck yeah. With Madame Kurenai calling out, now, time to rid this cosmos of my daughter's enemies. In the medbay, with everyone looking over Homura, Valkyrie looks at the screen questioning, Kurenai? And Homura opens her eyes, calling out to her mother. And of course, her calls out, come on losers, get ready to back up the Eden Zero. And the Ocean 6 call out, okay. And even the Belly of Gore is there as well, with Drac and Joe calling out, alright, time for some real fireworks. It's a little cheesy, but this is what was being set up. Shiki going from place to place, befriending all these people who used to be allies, who are now better people in this version of the universe. And in comes the forces of Oasis, with Goodwin saying, don't forget about us. And of course Ibaraki saying, even so. Shin calls out, guys. While Klein says, all of our friends, we're so connected. Sister states, then we better not embarrass ourselves. And Moscow says, Moskwi. And so a massive space battle takes place. I wish I could be as hyped for this as the battle on Lendard. It's a pale comparison, I'm sorry. That one, really hit all these really nice points. But this one kind of feels like, alright, we need to have everyone come in at the climax. And ship after ship of the forces of the Edens One falls to the allies of our heroes. As Ziggy, with a smoking hole through his midsection, says, look at all of them. Maybe they were drawn here by Shiki's gravity, something that perplexes Void. But Ziggy says, it's time to close the curtain on our role. Meanwhile, Witch calls out, charge to 100%. And as the main cannon of the Eden Zero gets ready to fire, Ziggy readies one final attack, his right hand glowing intensely. Void questions, what is that power? And Ziggy says, I brought you into this world in two senses of the phrase. Forgive me. Now let's go home. Oh! And so as the Eden Zero fires off the Starbringer cannon, Ziggy fires off a similar attack. Literally has the power of the Eden Zero in the palm of his hand. That can't be it though, right? The Eden's One is seemingly blasted through, and Void is seemingly vaporized. With Ziggy saying, we're going back to the Void of Zero. Not a bad chapter, but one that didn't really leave me fulfilled as I hoped it would. Having everyone come in, it's quintessential, but like I said before, that battle on Lendard felt like such a turning point with all of the dragons and stuff. And I guess it's because a lot of the Oresians says Galactica were still around when everyone came in. It was a desperate bid, everyone coming together and working together in order to get the job done. But here, much of the battles are already done. At this point, it's just them cleaning up. Had it been something where everyone set off to get... There's no clean way of doing this, I'm realizing, because there's no way of having everyone arrive in a way where they wouldn't have been late. And most, maybe before the rest of the Oresians said Galactica fell. I mean, unless, I thought maybe some of them come back to some capacity, but is this the climax? Is this really it? Because even if that's the end of Void, that feels wrong. But it's not terrible, and I really do truly feel like that this animated will be a lot more better in the presentation. But I don't know, having everyone show up in time to help out with a fleet that just kind of appears out of nowhere, something about that feels a little hollow. And that's been the most frustrating thing about a lot of this. Everything involving Void and the Orishia Says Galactica has been a little lackluster to me. And I hate feeling that way, because everything else has been very phenomenal. From the revelations of Mother, and now the revelations about the chronophage. I love that stuff. Like, God, that is the best part of this meal. But everything else feels like it looked like it should have been good, but there wasn't enough substance to it. Which is unfortunate, because it really felt like we were building to something great. Like, Lendard should have been the key component about how this should have worked out, but past villains went down fairly easily. New villains went down fairly easily, except for Lady Freya. It just, I mean, some of them had their moments, but it didn't have those high-octane moments where it felt like everything was really getting desperate. Because our heroes just kept overcoming, which isn't in and of itself a bad thing, but at no point has it felt like, except for when we first had the dragon swarm in, that maybe things were getting a little bit desperate. Man, even when Shiki was taken down by Lightning Law, and Rebecca had to push herself, that's the only other moment, and even that, it didn't have the same impact like I felt it should have. I hate that I feel like that. Like, there's something telling me there's something lacking here. And I hate that feeling, because otherwise I really loved a lot of this. But it very much is, if you had this in Dragon Ball or something, and Goku never went Super Saiyan. It's just like, he just completely fought. No. Goku went Super Saiyan, but like, Frieza never went into any of his other forms. It's like, why? We know you can do it. Why aren't you transforming? Like, that last minute burst of emotion from the characters and all that. I mean, Wizard was the one that felt like we got the closest to that. Shoot, the fact that Witch lost an arm in the fight too. And yet, nothing. Unless Mashima's planning some kind of turnaround. And now you're telling me Void is gone too? Just like that? The Edens won? I don't know. I hate being this guy. I really hate being this guy, because normally I'm not this guy, but I've been invested in this story too hard, and yet it's not hitting the beats that I was hoping it would hit, which feel like they're layups. It's like they're right there. You've shown them do it before. Where's Dead End Cure's transformation? Where's Godak Novella's? Where's Lightning Law's? Where's Lady Freya's? Shoot, I'd even take finding out that Mueller somehow came back. And one final tag team with Draken Joe. This time he's on our side. A team up with Shura. Like, overdrive modes everywhere. Everybody's going overdrive. Like, so often that is, I guess that's it, because I'm so used to that being at the climax of everything. That is the climax of the fight. That is the signifier that things are coming to a head, that things are at their boiling point. And, even when we had Laguna finally pull out his overdrive, it was against someone who didn't pull out his. Like, it's very much a, I'll show you mine if you show me yours situation, but the other party didn't present, and I'm like, bruh. I'm harping on and on about this same point. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you feel about this chapter? Is this a fitting end for Void and the Edens 1? Is this the way you expected everyone to show up? I mean, I'm glad Lobelia got to at least contribute by calling in the cavalry, more or less, but just Void being like, oh, by the way, here's a fleet I created during our battle. I've mass-produced all these ships, and they just get wiped away by everyone else. It's like, okay. Anna, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.